So welcome to Indigo. We're so happy to have you here.
It's great being
and
here.
So great to talk to you about your book. And you and I actually met the other night, and I'm just so excited that we could have this chit chat and have other people share in this conversation, because I've been telling so many people about the story of this book, and particularly the event that we had the other night. And mostly I just really want you to start out, because to me this is just the best story ever, is how The Shack came to be a book in this format.
My wife, Kim, was after me for a few years. I've always been a writer, but not an author. I've never tried to actually publish anything in my whole life. And so Kim was asking me for a number of years, someday, because I've written poems and songs and short stories for kids and family and friends, would you just please put in one place as a gift for your children how you think, because it's sort of outside the box. And I wanted a story, you know, because story has a way of inviting us into whatever's going on there. We bring our worlds into it, and it reaches the heart in a way that a lot of things don't, just like music does or nature does. So in 2005, I finally felt ready to write whatever this is. Kim told me a while ago that she thought 4 to 6 pages might be good. She didn't tell me that at the time. So I wrote this story for my children, and the goal was to get it done by Christmas 2005.
Jeez.
And didn't quite make it. I mean, I made it as far as the story was concerned, but we didn't have the money for the print. But after Christmas we did. So the only intended run of The Shack was 15 copies at Office Depot in Gresham, Oregon, after Christmas 2005.
Which now, of course, is translated into 4.3 million copies of the book, which is pretty outstanding.
It is. From my perspective, it's all a God thing, because, you know, it's proof He still uses the foolish, you know. So.
I really want to talk to you too, because I think it's important to understand, for those of the people that have read the book, the cast of characters and why they were chosen in the form they were in. And so if you could just briefly touch about, you know, why Papa chose the form that, you know, that came in, and particularly the Holy Spirit, because to me, that is an incredible story.
Okay. So the main character, it's a fiction, and he has a huge tragedy in his life. It's sort of a mystery suspense wrapped up in a what if. What if there is a God who is in the middle of our stuff, who has great affection for us? Now, how would that change anything? And so I introduced the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And I do it because I'm writing for my kids, you know, and they love me anyway, so I can do whatever I want.
Exactly.
Right? So I do it in quite an unorthodox way, a little bit outside of people's boxes, because I think a lot of the imagery we have for God is just imagery, but we've kind of made it into something formalized. And so we do think of God as Gandalf with an attitude, or, you know, Zeus or something. And so I introduced God the Father as a large black African American woman, and Jesus plays himself. He's a Middle Eastern man, and then the Holy Spirit as an Asian woman. And you know, the storyline is such. And Mackenzie has a huge issue with his father. And a lot of times, I think, in our own lives spiritually, especially within the Christian framework, we've often painted the face of God with the faces of our fathers or authority figures or something. And we've come up with a very poor characterization, or a caricature of God. And so in Mackenzie's life, the main character, because of this issue with his own father, God reaches to him in a way that bypasses those defenses. So he comes as a large black African American woman. And I grew up in a different culture. I'm a third culture kid, missionary kid, and so my history has been deeply impacted and affected by women in general, and specifically by large black African American women.
Exactly.
And so, you know, there's all kinds of stories connected to that by itself. When my mother saw Papa come through the door, when she was reading it for the first time, she just closed the book, called my sister, and said, "Your brother's a heretic," you know, and she meant it.
Yeah, sure.
So it took her a long time to get past that.
But she did ultimately?
Yes, she's past it now. That's a story.
Yeah.
So, and then the Holy Spirit, you know, the wind, there's many metaphors in the Bible for the Holy Spirit, and I love the wind as a metaphor. My website, which is Wind Rumors, or the publishing company that my two friends started, is Windblown Media. It's all from John chapter 3. So what I did, I'm working downtown Portland. I'm riding the MAX train to get down there, and I'm working for a web conferencing company, and I'm talking to Geetika Prabhu in India. Her company's looking for a web conferencing solution. Same time, I'm looking for a name for the Holy Spirit. So I figure it's a good trade, you know. And so I asked Geetika, can you give me a list in Hindi of words that mean the wind, any kind of wind, right? And the name Sarayu comes up in the list, and I like it. I like it. She explains how to pronounce it, and it's got a rolled R. In the audiobook, Mackenzie doesn't roll the R because he's just a white guy. And so, you know, you've got all this enigmatic quality to it. It's hard to remember exactly, and it's like the persona that I was creating for the Holy Spirit. So I asked Geetika, you know, do you ever name your children after this? And then she said, no, but we have a river named after this, which I thought was pretty cool too, because water, river of life, also metaphors for the Holy Spirit. And then most important question, what kind of wind is this? Because, you know, you don't want a tornado. There's some kinds of wind you definitely don't want it to be. And so it's an important question, because you don't want to try to explain it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so this is her response. Sarayu is the common wind that catches you by surprise. And I went, really? And she said, yeah, it's like when you're so hot, you think you're going to die, and out of nowhere comes this wind that cools you down and changes everything. And that became the name for the Holy Spirit.